All right, guys, so we have some breaking Jets news coming out now. The Jets are trading defensive tackle Derrick Nnadi back to the Kansas City Chiefs. They're trading him along with the 7th-round pick in exchange for a 6th-round pick. So pick swap, essentially the Jets are just sliding up in this upcoming draft, going from round 7 to round 6. And to me, this trade makes sense because if Derrick Nnadi was not going to make this football team, and on one hand, it sucks because when that signing initially happened, I was excited because Derrick Nnadi was a veteran defensive tackle, position of need, who is known for stuffing the run, hence why the Kansas City Chiefs are acquiring him. He's a multiple-time Super Bowl champion. He had time on the bench last season as like a rotational DT, but has had many, many starts for that Chiefs defense, and we know, just as fans of football, how many big games, how many playoff games that Derrick Nnadi has been a part of. But for whatever reason, it didn't work out. It didn't look like he was going to be making the team. And the Jets, of course, Quinnen's going to be locking down one D tackle spot. They brought in Byron Cowart on a 1-year deal, former just high school, this elite high school prospect, has bounced around at the NFL level, but supposedly has had a pretty good camp according to reporters and coaches. Dealing with injury right now, but nevertheless, it looks like he's going to be a member of this Jets team. I think maybe IR to start the season off. The 53-man roster comes out in a couple days. Is Cowart an IR candidate? I don't know. We'll see. But outside of that, we just traded for Harrison Phillips. Awesome. I think he's going to be the go-to starter right next to Quinnen. Harrison going to be the primary run stuffer in the 4-3. Quinnen, obviously he's going to do what he is going to do. Former All-Pro beast. Of course, right? We still have Leonard Taylor. We traded for Briggs from Cleveland, 2 young DTs right there, and not to mention Jay Tufele, who's looked pretty solid this preseason, and also Peyton Page, who I definitely want on this practice squad. He's earned a spot, in my opinion. And whenever you can get these high upside players, guys with like a lot of potential, you can store him on the practice squad. He's practicing throughout the year, assuming he doesn't get claimed from another team. All of a sudden, next training camp, he could be in competition here. So, I think the Jets right now, it's kind of funny because on one hand, like 3 weeks ago, we were very, very, very thin with an injury concern to Cowart. But now it's like, okay, with Quinnen back healthy, with Harrison Phillips now in the fold, with a young rotational DT in Briggs, that's awesome. Again, Peyton Page is kind of that practice squad development guy. Leonard Taylor, Jay Tufele. The D-tackle room is looking pretty good. I mean, credit Darren Mougey, credit Aaron Glenn. They revamped it in literally a couple of days with these new trade acquisitions. And by the way, the Jets aren't trading away a 3rd-round pick, a 2nd-round pick, scratch a 3rd-round pick. We don't even have a 3rd-rounder this year, but we're not trading major draft capital. And obviously with the Nnadi trade here, we're just sliding up in the draft. So we're just kind of bouncing around the 6th and 7th round while at the same time upgrading at these positions. So I think it's a wonderful job by Darren Mougey here, and I'm excited to see if there's any more moves coming down the pipeline here. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your Sunday, and as always, go Jets.